Hi guys, well, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on here. I'm really sorry. It's been a long couple of months, working really hard, obviously during this whole COVID-19 situation. So I hope you're all keeping well. I just wanted to do a little sort of a hello and catch up and hope you're okay. But also I wanted to discuss today a follow-up on one of my last videos, which was regarding the Esmya tablet and having to obviously stop it as it was being recalled. I've had a few questions from you guys out there about what I've experienced since, what happened and how I can help. Obviously I've got no medical knowledge or anything like that, but I'm just going to give you my own experience and what I felt helped me and reassured me once my doctor had told me to come off of the tablet straight away. So if you don't know guys, or you're new to the channel, I was on a tablet called Esmya. This is used to treat uterine fibroids, to help prevent your monthly period, so that it would help obviously make you feel better for one, and then hopefully go on to help treat. A few months ago, just before the COVID outbreak, I was actually called by my doctor's surgery to say that they wanted me to stop the tablet straight away, as there had been some reports of liver failure in a couple of people using the tablet, for me to come off it straight away. And they booked me on a blood test that would happen a couple of weeks later to check liver function. So throughout the 3 months, I was just about to finish my first pack, my first 3 months, which is kind of what they recommend before going on a 2-month break, when they called me. And every month I'd had to go to have a blood test to check liver function, because that was already seen as being one of the side effects, and it had all been fine. So I had this call, they booked me in for a blood test for 2 weeks time, and they said I had to come off the tablet straight away. Then everything kicked in, COVID-19 came. So obviously their first intention was to obviously take me off the tablet and then arrange for a time for me to meet with my gynecologist to discuss other treatments. Obviously that didn't happen. So 2 weeks later, COVID was just coming in, the lockdown had just started. I still managed to go and have the blood test done at my local GP surgery, which was really good, and there was no problem, so that's all good. Good. But obviously everything to do with my having a consultation with my gynecologist, that hasn't gone ahead. So roll upon, that was obviously back in March. It is now June. And obviously there's been no update really in terms of what other treatment I can receive. I had a letter from my consultant confirming that they will be in contact when they can regarding discussing other treatments. But I know this is going to be a long time before that happens. So at the moment I'm just continuing with nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I'm obviously very fortunate that my blood test came back absolutely fine, absolutely normal. There was no problems with liver function, because they did say that one of the side effects was authenticity, because the memory card ran out, so I'll try that again. So I was obviously very lucky that I had no problems with my liver function, and that been tested regularly, so I felt quite reassured. They did mention that there would be side effects further on down the line, that it isn't always likely that it would happen straight away, so to keep an eye out for different side effects. But touch wood, I've not had any of those. So the best thing about being on the Esmya tablet at the time was the fact that I wasn't having a monthly period, that everything is stopped. I felt this really helped me personally, because obviously every month, because of the large fibroids, I was having a very heavy period. This was obviously causing me to become quite weak, quite anemic, tired, anxious, worried about going out, worried about being out of the house for long periods of time, being at work for 8 hours of the day, because you never knew what to expect. So I had all those worries, but they all went when I started the tablet, and I thought, this is brilliant. You know, I knew I'd have to come off for the 2-month gap, so you go on for 3 months and then have the 2-month gap and then go back on again. So I knew there would have been a period in that time, in that 2 months, I would have had like couple of periods, and they would have probably been horrendous. But I knew then again I'd go back on the course again, and it was just starting to make me feel better, a bit more human. I was starting to trust my body a bit more again. So I was really, really doing well. So this all happened all at the same time as the lockdown and all of this. So anyway, I had my health other than that. So I was very, very grateful. So obviously it was the waiting game. It was the waiting game for my first period to come after coming off the tablet. It came as normal, really bad. Sort of last 10 days to 2 weeks. Extremely heavy for the first week. Makes me feel very unwell, makes me feel very tired, and makes me very self-conscious and anxious. But as I do, and as we all do every month, for people that have the same, we just get through it day to day. We struggle on. Especially at the time, knowing that there were a lot worse things going on in the world, and that's not an important thing. It's something I can manage, I can cope with, used to coping with, and it's absolutely fine. As I'm sure a lot of you out there feel, that although those symptoms that you get from heavy periods are a nuisance, a worry, an anxiety, make you feel poorly, they're not the end of the world. We can still function in a sense. So fast forward a couple of months. So obviously I'm not on any kind of tablet, I'm not on any kind of medication to control my bleeding or to help shrink or do anything with fibroids. I don't know if any of you out there either have found that because of one of the food shortage right at the beginning of lockdown, and probably just the stresses and strains of trying to get through the lockdown period, I really felt that my diet went out of the window. Not diet as even dieting, I wasn't dieting, but I was eating quite healthily. I felt that really went out the window. To start with, obviously, at the start of lockdown, it was very much about what food can we find that's vegan, that's filling, that lasts a long time, so we don't have to go to the shops too often. So it was a lot of bread, it was a lot of rice, a lot of pasta, a lot of sweet things. It was cake, biscuits, chocolate, lots of cups of tea, gallons of tea, because us Brits, obviously we need tea to keep us going through this difficult times. So I felt I was turning a lot to this very sugary, very starchy, very, filling food, because it was filling, cheap and easy to get. So that's what we ate a lot of. I feel like I've continued with that. Especially one thing that I've absolutely fallen in love with over the last few months is the Biscoff Lotus bread. Now, if any of you have ever tried that out there, fully recommend. Vegan, gorgeous on bread, toast, crumpets, milkshakes. We've tried in several different forms. It's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely lovely. So been addicted to that as well. So lots and lots of sugary stuff. But getting back to everything else, I felt that I've gone back to normal in terms of the monthly strain, the period and everything. It's really heavy, it's gone back to normal, but I'm just trying to get through this until obviously I can meet with my gynecologist and discuss other ways to control it. So just trying to get through this time at the moment. One thing I found that's really, really helped, and I don't know if any of you felt that out there, is I'm actually now working 2 days a week in the office and 3 days a week at home. And I've really felt that working from home 3 days a week, especially at that time of the month, has really helped me, because I've got less anxiety about being out of the house when when my period's at its heaviest, and when I'm at my self-conscious, when I'm most anxious of being out the house and not being able to control it. What if I do if I'm going to flood? What if I do if I'm in a meeting or an interview at work, and it all goes crazy? But if I'm at home, I'm at home. I think it's my comfort space. I feel a bit more relaxed. I can just relax a little bit more and not have to worry about those things. So I felt that has been one of the most positive things out of this whole thing, is for me, is the working from home, which I've never done before really, but I felt having that. I've loved working in the office as well. I felt that's been a really good, having the mix. I've been so lucky to be able to do part and part, that I've still got to see my colleagues face to face, but also I get to work from home, especially at that time of the month when I just want to work hard but I don't want to be distracted, because I find at work, if I'm at work in the office and it's that time of month, I'm distracted because I think I can't be too far away from the toilet. I can't be too far. I can't just take medication. I'm in pain. And sometimes I take what's called tranexamic acid, which does help a little bit with the heavy periods. And sometimes I take that. And if I'm out and about, I'm always thinking I've got to take that so that then my period's not too heavy, that I don't flood, that, you know, all of these things. I'm constantly worrying. I don't know if any of you feel like that out there. I don't know if any of you else out there have also had tranexamic acid and seen the benefits, the side effects. Has it worked for you? Has it not? It's quite interesting to find out. So working from home has been a big positive. So going forward, right, well, I can't continue like this. At the moment, I'm feeling extremely uncomfortable. A few months ago, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I actually used to meet with a nutritionist, and she was helping me to adapt my diet to try and control the symptoms of my heavy periods, even to the fact of trying to reduce the fibroids by hormone balance and things like that through the food, diet and nutrition. So she was helping me a lot with that. This was before I actually turned vegan. So it was last year. And she actually encouraged certain things for me to do, which would help, one with the side effects. So the kind of the bloating, the water retention that I would get, the uncomfortableness, and then hopefully to help control hormone levels, which obviously then, because obviously the fibroids are controlled by the hormones. So it's all about trying to just be healthier body, and then everything else will fall into place kind of thing. And so, as I've just said, my diet sort of, and nutrition went out the window with this COVID situation, because I felt that I just ate whatever I could have. And then I've got into such a routine of eating so much sugar and rubbish that I feel like I need to start doing better again. So over the next few weeks, I'm hoping to try and adopt a much healthier lifestyle again. I've noticed over the last few weeks that I felt so uncomfortable around my middle. I can feel that the fibroids are there, that they're quite large, uncomfortable and inflamed, you know, I can just feel it more. Whereas I know that a few months ago, when I was following a lot more of a strict diet, that I didn't have all that uncomfortableness, and I just want to see if I can get to that again. I'll insert some pictures of how I currently look around the middle. I'm quite self-conscious about it, that I feel very uncomfortable sometimes as well, but I just want to see if some of that will go down if I try and just be better. So if I eat better, drink less caffeine, things that I did previously that really did help. See if that will help again. But I'll go into that in more depth in another video, when I'm going to sort of start a video series, a vlog, and I'm going to take you guys along with me, if that's okay, to see if that's going to help, and then that might give you some sort of enthusiasm. So that might give you some encouragement to try as well yourself. But I'm really into sort of the holistic therapies, and that's why I did pursue the idea of a nutritionist last year, because I wanted to try and treat fibroids as naturally as possible. I'd already had 2 surgeries to remove fibroids, once in 2013 and then once last year, April last year, and so I didn't want to have to go through that all again, just for them to grow back and have to go through it again as well. So I wanted to try and treat things more naturally, and I'm hoping that will help again, just at least relieve some of the symptoms. It just helped with the uncomfortableness now in the middle, the sort of the weight gain, bloating, feeling the lumps and bumps as well, feeling my fibroids. When I lay down, I can feel them, they're very predominant. Whereas a few months ago, when I was eating a lot better, drinking a lot better, drinking lots more water, more fruit teas, herbal teas, that I just felt better. And I want to try and adopt that again. I'm also going to try and do some more exercise, because I feel I used to walk to work before the COVID outbreak. I used to walk to work most of the time. But obviously I've been driving more, carrying more things, laptop, etc. So I've been driving more and probably not been exercising so much. So I'm going to try lots of different things as well. See what things help, what things make me feel worse, what doesn't hurt around my middle so much, and things like that. But I want to take you guys along with me, and I'm going to see that as more of like a series, like a vlogging series, and see if I can make a difference. But I just wanted to hear from you guys about your experiences using Esmya, whether you're still on the tablet, whether your gynecologist or doctor has said anything, whether they've recommended you come off, whether they have taken you off, have they recommended blood tests to check if there's anything happened. But I'd love to hear from you guys to see what your situation is. I know after speaking with a couple of you guys that you're scared. You know, it's a scary thing. You know, you've been on this tablet that's helping you. It's supposed to help you, and then being told that it could harm you is a really scary thing. And also the fact that it works to help stop your period. It helps to make you feel better. Things like that. That actually, you know, it's hard to then want to have to come off of it, but having to be made to come off of it because it causes a danger is a really difficult thing. I'd also be really curious to see if anybody has actually had any recommendations from their medical professional since then, whether they've actually received any feedback from their doctor, their gynecologist, or anything from the hospital, the doctor's surgery, anything like that, to say recommending and what they should go on instead. That would be really, really interesting, because I've obviously not had that communication yet, apart from a letter to confirm that they'd like me to come off, and then wait further guidance. So it'd be really, really interesting to see if anybody out there has actually heard an update or had anything since then. Because it's been a few months, obviously the world has been turned upside down over the last few months, and so it's not a priority. But it'd be really, really interesting to hear from anybody that might have actually had an update. But for now, guys, I hope you are all keeping well. Please don't worry. My guidance would is to seek an opinion, medical opinion. So if you are concerned that it might have caused liver damage, or you're have symptoms, you don't have symptoms, you're still on the tablet, you've not been told to go off of it, you've been told to go off it, but perhaps you want to finish the course you're on, all of these things is just to ask for advice. I was really, really impressed with my doctor's surgery and the hospital. They both contacted me within, you know, really quickly after it was announced that it was going to be recalled. So I was really, really lucky. So I hope you guys have been too. But yeah, my guidance would be to get advice, and also would be to have those blood tests. If you're offered a blood test or suggest having a blood test, just to put your mind at rest to see if there has been any damage. I know it's quite a rarity that, you know, rare thing that it would have done any damage, but sometimes just to put your mind at rest, it's nice to have that confirmation there that there is nothing wrong. And then just to keep an eye on yourself for the next few weeks, you know, after you've come off the tablet, just to make sure that you're not seeing any side effects, no symptoms of anything out the normal, and also just to stick together. That would be my last bit of advice, would be to stick together, because a lot of us are going through the same thing at the moment, waiting for further advice, waiting for further treatment, kind of in that limbo at the moment because of everything else going on. So I think it's just a case of sticking together, and we can get through this, and then helping each other, supporting each other, giving each other advice, and just, you know, if you've got any worries, let us know. All right then, guys, until next time, see you soon, take care, bye.